History is often taught as a ladder, a steady climb from primitive darkness into the light of modernity. But that is a lie. History is a wheel, and sometimes the wheel breaks. 3,200 years ago, the Late Bronze Age was the apex of human achievement. If you stood on the docks of Ugarit or the ramparts of Mycenae, you were looking at the first globalized economy. The Egyptian pharaohs corresponded with Hittite kings like brothers. Tin from Afghanistan mixed with copper from Cyprus to forge the bronze that drove the world. It was an age of international diplomacy, complex bureaucracy, and immense wealth. The people of this era believed their civilization was eternal. They had mastered architecture, agriculture, and war. They felt safe. But by 1177 BC, almost every major city between Greece and Gaza had been destroyed. They were never occupied again. The light of civilization flickered and went out, plunging humanity into a centuries-long dark age. Writing disappeared. Progress halted. Who or what murdered the Bronze Age? For decades, archaeologists pointed to a single culprit: the Sea Peoples. Egyptian inscriptions at Medinet Habu depict them as a swarm. Warriors with feathered helmets arriving by ship, tearing through the Hittite Empire, leveling cities. Ramesses III claimed he defeated them, stopping the apocalypse at Egypt's doorstep. It is a convenient story. But forensic anthropology tells a different story. We find silence. In many ruins, there are no bodies of invaders, just the charred remains of the locals. Where are their settlements? Where is their pottery? They appear like ghosts, wreak havoc and vanish. Perhaps they weren't the cause, but a symptom. To understand the death of this world, we must look not at the swords, but at the soil. Recent studies of ancient pollen samples from the region tell a harrowing tale. Around 1200 BC, the eastern Mediterranean was hit by a mega-drought lasting decades. Famine stalked the land. Imagine the chain reaction. The grain shipments fail. The price of bread skyrockets. Without food, the soldiers will not fight. Then geology strikes, earthquake storms, a series of massive seismic events ripping through the Aegean and the Levant. Now look at the Sea Peoples again. A desperate migration of families fleeing starvation and ruin in their own homelands. The Late Bronze Age was a complex system. It was hyper-specialized. They relied entirely on one another. When you cut one wire in a complex machine, the whole thing crashes. The central palaces could no longer pay the administrators. When the administration failed, law and order vanished. The destruction we see represents internal rebellion. The poor, starving and overtaxed, rising up to burn down the palaces. Civilization wasn't murdered. It committed suicide. The Bronze Age collapse teaches us a humble lesson. Societies are fragile things. Complexity is not a shield, it is a vulnerability.
But there is hope in the ashes. From the rubble, new, smaller, more agile societies emerged.
Forced the invention of a simpler alphabet, the very one we use today. The death of the old world gave birth to the Iron Age. We are the children of the apocalypse, and as we look at our own interconnected, fragile world, we must ask, are we watching the wheel turn again? Thank you for watching, and please like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.